Welcome dear students once again and good morning. Today is 1st December 2020 and for the students of BA semester 5th who has opted the optional paper of population studies, the last unit of that paper is entitled with life table. And students, today I will deal with the concept, types and just how to prepare the life table. I will tell about very briefly about these three words. So, life table is very much important in the demography of population studies because through this life table, we are able to predict, hypothetically we are able to calculate about the life expectancy of individual or of any cohort in developed as well as developing nations. So this is how you have to, only in graduation level, you have to learn about the meaning of life table, the basic concept of life table, general types of life table, and only here at this stage you have to understand about how to prepare the life table. So students, let's start with the concept. Very brief concept is there, and as per this you can see that life table is summary of age-specific mortality rates of a population. Very brief, concise and specific definition, or we may say concept. That is summary of age-specific mortality rates of a population. And students, earlier I told you about how you are able to calculate age-specific mortality rates. So all the summary of those age-specific mortality rates could be seen as life table of a person or cohort. So when anybody will ask about the concept of life table, you can very simply say that life table is nothing but summary of age-specific mortality rates of population. And then you may explain the meaning of life table. So students, we may say that life table is a mathematical sample which gives of death in a country and is the basis for measuring the average life expectancy in a society. Earlier I told you, because in any developing or developed nations, to calculate HDI index in the theory of development, this is very much important, because life table is a mathematical sample which gives of death in a country and is the basis for measuring the average life expectancy in a society. This is very much important, through which we calculate life expectancy of the society. And then it tells about the probability of a person dying at a certain age. Very carefully students listen. Probability of a person dying at a certain age or living up to definite age. So there is two components. Either you are witnessing here person dying at a certain age or living up to definite age. This living up to definite age is the end age of mortality. So this is the meaning of life table. And students, there are many definitions regarding this also. But here I will tell you only two definitions, and you can use any one of definition in the examination. Bog definitions and Berkeley definitions. And this definition is very clearly defined the meaning and concept of life table. So as per Bog, he defined in his own word, within inverted comma, he said that the life table is a mathematical model that portrays mortality condition at a particular time among a population and provides a basis for measuring longevity. And this longevity is a measurement of HDI Okay, so it is based on age-specific mortality rates observed for a population for a particular year. So students, with this Bog definition, very clearly you can define the life table. And we all know that any definition clearly focuses about the concept and meaning of any particular subject or area. So here Bog very clearly defined the life table. And then second one, as per Berkeley, the life table is a life history of a hypothetical group or cohort of people as it is diminished gradually by death. The records begins at the birth of each member and continues until all died. Little bit different, but you might learn little bit new concept, new terminology in this definition. Here this definition say that this is a life history of a hypothetical group. एक परिकल्पना होता है कि एक व्यक्ति अगर जिंदा आज जन्म लेता है तो उसके जीवित बने रहने की संभावनाएं कितनी है, कितनी उम्र तक वो जीवित रहेगा। और एक व्यक्ति के बाद अगर एक कोहर्ट का मतलब एक ग्रुप का मतलब अगर 0 से 5 वर्ष के ग्रुप या 20 से 25 वर्ष के युवाओं का ग्रुप या 60 से 65 वर्ष के बुजुर्गों का ग्रुप, किसी एक वर्ग ग्रुप का भी अध्ययन करेंगे तो वो अध्ययन ये बताता है कि एक व्यक्ति के परिकल्पना कितने समय तक वो जीवित रहने की संभावनाएं हैं। और इससे क्या होता है कि डेवलपमेंट के पॉलिसीज इसमें बनाए जाते हैं, क्योंकि longevity is the primary concern of any countries. So this definition is also very much clear that life table is a life history of a hypothetical group or cohort of people as it is diminished gradually by death. We all know that death is a certain. We could not delay or we could not diminish any death. Rather, only we could make our better life with better health and make our longevity. But there is the death is certain. But due to aging, our life become gradually diminished and gradually moves towards death. So this is how Bog and Berkeley used to say. And then students, there are certain assumptions regarding the preparation of the life table. Let us start with a hypothetical cohort of life table usually comprises of 1,000, 10,000 or 1 lakh births. So anybody could calculate this life table in 1,000, in 10,000 or in 1 lakh. Generally in USA, their estimation of death is per lakh. And in our country, there is a per 1,000. So this varies from this figure. But on an average, we have to calculate hypothetically this measurement. Okay. And then the deaths are equally distributed throughout the year. This is assumption. The cohort of people diminish gradually by death only. This is fact. This is also assumption. You cannot deny this assumption. The cohort is close to the in-migration and out-migration. The death rate is related to a predetermined age-specific death rate. The cohort of person die at a fixed age which does not change. There is no change in death rates over time. And lastly, the cohort of life tables are generally constructed separately for males and females. So while preparation of the life table, these all assumptions we have to apply, and we could make different life table for male and female differently, separately. So let's talk about the different types. There are two basic types. First is cohort life table, which shows that follow a cohort, that means one similarly aged group throughout the time. Earlier I told you example. Best method but difficult for long-lived animals. Okay, this is only applied for the human being. And second is static life table, that is observed age structure of a population at a specific time or collect corpuses and determined age. Inferring mortality rates from age structure requires assumptions. That is static population, zero growth, no immigration or emigration, and age-specific mortality is a constant over time. So we can use any one of these types while preparation of a life table. Okay, and students, very simply now I will tell how to construct a complete life table, and here I will give you only example and only the columns of life table, because regarding the graduation level I could not explain more than this. Okay, so there are certain terminologies and formulas or indicators of life tables measurement. So first you can see that this is observed data is dx and px, death and population, mortality rate is mx, dx by px. I have already told you all this separately. There is a mortality probabilities where this is a indicator. Survival probabilities, this is indicator px1 minus qx. Number of surviving, this is indicator lx is equal to lx minus 1 px minus 1. Number of dying, dx lx minus lx plus 1. Life years lived, lx is equal to lx plus 1 plus 0.5 lx, half of the age. Total life years lived, capital tx plus 1 plus capital lx, and life expectancy ex is equal to tx by small ix. So this all terminology you have to understand with these indicators, and if any questions related to this in 2 number question you can deal with. So this is how before preparation of the life table you have to understand these indicators of the life table. Now student, this is narrated in your books, any book you can see. There are many columns of the life tables, and you have to here at the undergraduate level you have to understand only about these columns. For example, first is age, second is probability of dying, third is probability of surviving between age x and age x plus 1. मतलब 2 साल के बाद 1 साल और जुड़ता है तो आप सरवाइव कर पाते कि नहीं, इसको प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ सर्वाइविंग बोलते हैं. नंबर ऑफ डेथ, हाउ टोटल नंबर कितने मरते हैं, तो एक्स एंड एज एक्स प्लस 1. आज 1 साल है, अगले साल जीने की संभावना कितनी है, कितने लोगों की मौत होती है. नेक्स्ट इज सर्वाइवर्स ऑफ द एग्जैक्ट एज आपका कितनी है, आप कितने वर्ष तक जीवित रहे. और ईयर्स लिव्ड बिटवीन एज एक्स एंड एज एक्स प्लस 1, आप 1 साल से लेके आने वाले 10 साल तक जीवित रहे, कितने समय तक जीवित रहे, इसका एक स्तंभ होता है. और टोटल ईयर्स लिव्ड आफ्टर एग्जैक्ट एज, और अगर आपका एग्जैक्ट एज प्रिडिक्टेड है 60 और अगर आप 70 साल जीवित रहेंगे तो उसका भी एक स्तंभ होता है. और लास्टली लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी, एक्सपेक्टेशन ऑफ लाइफ, दैट इज लिव्ड एग्जैक्ट अप टू एज. सो दिस ऑल आर द columns of life table. And in the postgraduate level or in the research level, you after collecting the data you may use this all columns when you have to calculate about the life table. So students, you have to learn about these columns here. Okay, not more than this at the undergraduate level. And when this is examples, I have filled all those columns with these examples. I will not deal with this, but again in the last slide I can explain you only what is the column 1. Column 1 is x is equal to specific age. That is, if the age at birth is x, then the age at year is x plus 1. Similarly, the age at 15 years is x plus 15. So this is first column, that is specific age. Column 2 is dx. Dx means death of total number of death. Number of deaths at any particular age, that is at the age x. If example 13,000 deaths occur out of 1 lakh births, then at age x plus 1 is equal to 87,000 persons will be alive. In this age, if 1300 deaths occurs, then at x plus 2 is 85,700 person will alive. So this is how you can deal with dx. Third is column is fx, that is the number of persons surviving at age x to x plus 1, that is at the age of x plus 1 is equal to 1 lakh minus 1300. Earlier I told you about 1300 died is equal to 87,000. Column 4th is qx, probability of death per person in the specific age, that is total probability is equal to 13,000 divided by 1 lakh is equal to 0.13. So this is probability of death rate per person. And fifth is PX, that is 1 minus probability of surviving per individual person of 1 minus GX, that is at age X 1 minus 0.1300 is equal to 0.87,000, and at age X plus 1 minus 0.149 is equal to 0.98506. This is the probability of surviving per individuals. And lastly, column 6 is LX capital L, that is number of years lived by a cohort in the age of X to X plus whole year. This is life expectancy. So these all are the terminology only for the UG students, and you have to deal with only the meaning, concept, definition of the life table and the various columns of the life table, and that may be deal as how to prepare the effective life table. Thank you.